Hi, my name is Jacob Treach, and this is my audio-visual assignment. So I wanted to do topics that explained how humans got to where we are today, so I chose determinism, the sunk cost effect, and the Flynn effect. So the definition of determinism is that it is the concept that every action is caused by something, a determinant, and can be observed and measured. So for example, a little boy crying after he gets grounded by his mom. Continuing on determinism, this is how it affects society. People try to move up in the world because they want to have a better life for themselves or their family. This is the cause behind their actions. Next is how I'd observe slash measure this. I would give people a piece of candy and ask them why they ate it or not afterwards. And based on their answers, I tried to collect if there was a cause or not. So now on to the sunk cost effect. The definition is the willingness to do something undesirable because you have already invested money, time, or effort into it. So, for example, someone eating all of the food in the fridge because the electricity went out. You don't want to do this, but you have to save all the food and the money you already spent on it. Continuing on with the sunk cost effect, this is how it affects society. So, people would not be as active as they are without it. They would have no motivation to do anything whatsoever if something in their situation went wrong. So, how I'd measure this effect is I'd give people a project to do about ways to cure cancer. But on the day of the presentation, I would tell them that they didn't have to do it at all. If they still presented, then they probably didn't want their hours of researching how to cure cancer to go to waste. So finally, we have the Flynn effect. The definition of the Flynn effect is that with every generation, people's raw scores on IQ tests gradually increase. To keep up with this trend, test makers continue to make the test harder and harder. So, for example, kids will score higher on the same IQ test that their parents or grandparents took at the same age they were. Continuing on with the Flynn effect, this is how it affects society. So, if people are progressively scoring higher from each generation, then humans are able to progress and make things that we used to only dream about. We will keep advancing and heading toward greater things in the future. So, how I'd observe this effect is I would compare a child, their parents, and grandparents' test scores, like I said earlier in the example. In conclusion, with the many different psychological explanations for our actions, thoughts, and social interactions, we can see how the human race has developed into what we are today. So, thank you for being a fantastic teacher this semester and making the course very interesting for all of us.